Now, had we actually gone through with that plan, then we probably would have become one of Elohim's messengers. But today, I do not really feel like it. Instead, I feel like climbing the rest of the tower, because we didn't really get the chance to see what was at the top. And this will, of course, lead us to the final, and definitely the best ending of the Talos Principle. If there's anything I could recommend, is that human curiosity will lead you extremely far, to new places, to great heights, to see new challenges to be overcome. And that obviously is represented by this huge structure known as the Forbidden Tower. And the Forbidden Tower would like to offer you some tea and biscuits on your way up here, because this elevator ride takes a considerable amount of time to ride up. Enough so that way I can stumble over my own words because I talk way too fast whenever I record. Anyway, you probably remember this area. You probably don't. But if you do, congrats. I'm glad you figured it out. We saw this earlier, and now it is time to break barriers and see what is beyond the purple goop.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Maybe your tiny monkey brain didn't get the hint earlier. Don't climb the friggin' tower!
I really don't care what you have to say at this point, Sam. You can't stop me. I'm invincible!
Look, there ain't no bananas at the top of this tree. All the bananas are back in the garden. Shoo, monkey! Scurry back down now. Look, I know you're curious and all, but climbing this tower is a really, really bad idea. I'm starting to like you, honest. And I don't want to see you do something stupid. Don't you get it, man? What are you trying to do? You're blowing the whole thing up. That's it. No more puzzles, no more challenges. You're gonna sacrifice everything here because... what? Because you're curious?
Oh, he ran out of dialogue. Alright, so Sam will talk quite a lot during this part of the gameplay, so I probably will be staying quiet for most of the time, but not before going after the final Easter egg of the game, which is hidden up here on the tower. I'm not too familiar, and I fell off. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm not too familiar with this Easter egg, but I'm sure someone who is more familiar with the series that it's referencing in general will be able to help me out on this one, because I don't know how Google search works, and yeah, I'm just too lazy to even Google in the first place. But if I can actually safely make my way over, then I will get a chance to show it off. Only, the thing is, parkour on pipes is really difficult. I'm sure it would be difficult in real life, especially, because... man, this is pathetic. Maybe I should just not say anything and then I'll maybe show you what the Easter egg is once I actually make it over there. These things, they take time, you see. It takes time to actually learn a thing or two about this game. And one of those things you must learn is that parkour is never easy, mate. It's always never easy. But if you do it right, you should come across this text that reads, Pipeline 1.048596. And this is a reference to an anime called Steins Gate. What is Steins Gate? It's an anime. What is anime? I don't know. And that's the last Easter egg of the game. So now we might actually proceed with seeing what the rest of the tower has to offer, which is more purple gates. And I like this part of the gameplay because this area actually kind of encourages you to work with other robots. Obviously it's scripted, but there are other robots, spoiler warning, and they're actually really helpful.
Dude, take a break. You're messing with forces you don't understand. I mean, I don't understand them either, but what I do understand is that the game will end if you keep going. Do you really want the game to end?
Well, I kinda do. I mean, this is the final ending we're going after, so you might as well. Alright, so this entire area you can only do in one try. Granted, it's not extremely difficult, thankfully. However, if you mess up, if you fall off, or if the void basically catches you, then you'll get sent all the way back here to the start. And what is the void? Well, it's the reason why we're hurrying up with this puzzle is because the void is slowly catching up with you on this tower, and it makes a whole lot of noise. And we must avoid the noise because I don't want that in the video, it's terrible.
If you keep going, you'll screw up the whole game. I'll kick you out. You're not gonna come back.
So, hence why we are in a rush. Now, the purpose of the Shepherd is to help us ascend the tower. Samsara is trying to prevent that, and we don't want him to do that. So, we kinda have to work around Samsara's tricksy little ways. First, by assisting the Shepherd, so that way he can hold open this grate and allow us to pass. And now we just have to accompany him over to this fan, I believe. And he should actually power it for us, so that way we can make a little bit of progress. These puzzles on this area of the tower are actually pretty straightforward. There is one that screwed me up really easily and quite stupidly, I might note, but don't worry, I will show you what that part is, and it's like the final area of the entire tower ascension ending anyway, so, you know, fair point. I guess the difficulty curve is to be expected in this sort of situation. Anyway, what you want to do is just transport the connector to the other side, so bring this box over here by powering the fan on the other side, and then do a little bit of connecting from this end, because if you just try to connect over there, then Samsara will just run over to a different platform and raise another grate, and that's just going to block you entirely from making progress. We want to avoid Samsara's traps, and we want the Shepherd to assist us as much as possible, and we need to help the Shepherd as well, such as allowing us to jam that door, so that way he might jam this door, and then jam another door, and then boom, another floor up.
Jesus, who wrote this script? Alas, my brethren, the inevitable march towards oblivion continues. The tide of darkness will consume all in its path. 'Tis a consummation indeed, within the wretched dream we share here upon this final plateau. To be or not to be, that is the question. There is no turning back from this troubling answer.
Indeed there isn't. If you try to climb down, actually, I don't think there's any possible way you can climb down. I think you're pretty much just forced to climb up at this area, because I have tried leaving.
Don't you get it? We're both video game characters. If you go up there, it's game over, man. Game over.
I have tried leaving this area before, but it's simply not possible. I think the void just swallows you up. Anyway, we're gonna get rid of Samsara because he's annoying. We should probably get rid of him a little more efficiently, so that way he's trapped in there. But you probably get the idea. I don't know why he's just standing there kind of idly. Maybe it just doesn't matter. Let's try that again. Just to be safe. I don't want Samsara tailing me or anything. So, you know, just fine. You're gonna be that way, are you, Mr. Samsara? Well then, fooey on you, I say. I have other business to attend to, and that business involves a very... I know how to word sometimes, but I had a brain aneurysm. It involves a very devoted fan of mine right here. Jump on the box, which you've placed on top of the fan, and grab the jammer, because you don't have enough height to go up here without said box. And then jam this door open. And escape to safety! Or is it?
Listen to me for a second. You really want this game to be over, huh? I mean, this is pretty fun, right? I make puzzles, you solve them. I say cool-sounding stuff, and we both feel smart.
Well, yeah, I am gonna kinda miss Sam after this, but we will get to see him in another game. I mean, this is Crow Team. Crow Team can't have a game without serious Sam in it. That's why this DLC existed in the first place. So, allow the Shepherd to ride that elevator trip up, and then you must jam the door from the other side so that way he might escape. You need to take this jammer with you, and this is the part which can actually mess me up pretty easily. What you want to do right here, the important step being, is to get rid of this elevator once again, because it's blocking you from jamming the door on the other side. And you have no idea how long that messed me up in my progress on completing this ending before. It's kind of absurd how that was. But one final jamming to do, and we are done.
Is this what you want? Really? You want the game to end? Don't you still have things to unlock and explore? Are you really ready for this all to be over?
Yes, I am!